So what's up guys, Zarma Moses here, welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you are new here, make sure you do the needful, like, subscribe and share this video to your friends out there. This would help us with the YouTube algorithm and would grow eventually to one of the biggest channels in the world. Yeah, sure. So in this video, I'm going over the 5 best budget 4G smartphones in 2020. So stay tuned, grab some popcorn and let's get into the review. The Samsung Galaxy A20 goes for less than $120 and it's my pick as the first affordable 4G smartphone under $200 you should buy. It has a 6.4 inches Super AMOLED screen with 85% screen to body ratio and a 720 by 1560 pixels and 268 pixels per inch. The downside obviously is the low internal storage of 32GB and the 3GB RAM. It has a dual rear camera setup with the main camera being the 13MP sensor and a 5MP ultra wide. The selfie shooter is an 8MP sensor. The body build of the phone feels cheap, to be honest, and that's because it's cheap in real sense. For performance, it features the Exynos 7884, which is decent for gaming. Some perks include a Type-C USB, a 4000mAh battery and a fast 15W charging. With all these features tied to this smartphone, it comes at a lower $120 and it deserves every dime. The Redmi Note 8 is up at 5th on the list. Released in August last year, this smartphone still is one of the best budget smartphones under $200. The display is an IPS LCD 6.5 inches screen with a 1080p display and 395 pixels per inch. Features a Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and on the back and a plastic frame. This gives off a premium feeling when you hold the smartphone in hands and has a nice look going for it. The heart of the device is powered by a MediaTek Helio G70, which is particularly good for gaming. It comes in different storage options ranging from the 64GB internal storage to as high as 256GB storage and also supports 4G. The camera setup is a quad setup of 64MP main camera, 8MP ultra wide, 2MP macro and 2MP depth sensor. The selfie shooter is a 20MP sensor as well. The Note 8 Pro shoots 4K videos at 30fps, which means you're ensured of high quality videos at all times. The battery is a massive 4500mAh and it comes with the 18W charging enabled. The Samsung Galaxy M21 is a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED device with a 1080p display for crisp, punchy and just vibrant colors. However, I do agree the build feels cheap right up front as it is made of plastic. It features a cunning Gorilla Glass 3 up front. The Exynos 9611 is what you get from this device, and to be very sincere, it's not a gaming centric smartphone. It does manage to handle gaming but not at the highest rate level. What you get with this smartphone is the Exynos 9611 as processor, and this translates to average gaming. It has the base model of 64GB internal storage and 4GB of RAM, and a higher model with 128GB internal storage and 4GB of RAM. On the rear, it's equipped with a triple shooter of 48MP main camera, an 8MP ultra wide and 5MP depth sensor. It records at 1080p and 4K too. For selfies, it's armed with a 20MP sensor. The battery storage is by far the highlight of this device as it rocks a whopping 6500mAh battery storage and it comes with a 15W charging enabled. The Realme 6 is definitely a strong contender for the best smartphone on this list, but it's placed as second, and if anything, it easily deserves the number 1 spot. The design pattern is sleek. The only con is the plastic build of the smartphone. Although it has no IP rating, it's reported by Realme to be a splash resistant smartphone. The Realme 6 pulls off a 90Hz refresh rate on a 1080p IPS LCD screen. While I expected an OLED screen to make the phone complete, the LCD is the only reason I'm not rating this device a 10 out of 10 in the display department. Just like the Redmi Note 8 Pro, it features the MediaTek Helio G90T. There's also a quad camera setup of 64 megapixels main sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixels macro and 2 megapixels depth sensor. The single camera for selfies is a 16 megapixel shooter. The Realme 6 is also equipped with a 4300 mAh battery that could charge from 0 to 100% in 55 minutes as advertised by the company. This device was announced in April 30th of 2020, which is one of the most recent smartphones on the list and deservedly makes it to the top 1. The device sports a 6.6-inch IPS LCD screen, and resolution wise it has a 1080p display with a 20:9 aspect ratio. The device sports a 6.6-inch IPS LCD screen, and resolution wise it has the 1080p by 2400 pixels and a 20:9 aspect ratio. Yes, it has a glass back and a Gorilla screen and also a plastic frame. With over 400 nits of brightness, this smartphone is suitable for outdoor use. The only downside is the 60Hz refresh screen rate. Considering the Realme 6 features a 90Hz display, the processor is really proficient as it features the Snapdragon 720G, which really holds against its own when it comes to heavy gaming and demanding apps. It ships with the latest Android 10 and the MIUI OS. Coming in two storage options, the base model holds a 64GB internal storage and 4GB of RAM, while the higher model has the 128GB inbuilt storage and 6GB of RAM. The rear is equipped with a quad camera setup of 48 megapixels main sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixels macro and 2 megapixels depth. There's also a 16 megapixel shooter up front. It records 4K videos at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 30, 60 and 120 frames per second. The fingerprint scanner is mounted on the side and it has a headphone jack. The battery is ginormous at 5020 mAh, and a fast charging of 18 watts and a Type-C port ensures you get your phone from 0 to 100% in no time. So finally guys, that's my selection for the best budget 4G smartphones of 2020. If you have any recommendations of any smartphone that you think should have made it to the list, please make a comment in the comment section below and we'll interact with you guys. Now before going, make sure you do like this video, subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive fabulous updates from this channel, and don't forget to stay safe, wash your hands and stay at home guys. For now, it's goodbye. Catch you on the next one. Peace.